Hey, this is the Flipping and Wholesaling Houses in New York show. I am Michael Pinter, where I teach you how to start wholesaling or flipping houses, or if you're already doing it, how to grow your business. I am still in California. I think tomorrow will be the last post from California. But today we're talking about wholesaling houses. I'm sorry, I apologize. We're talking about outsourcing, what you should outsource and when you should outsource, what you need to do yourself. So there's three pillars of the business, right? There is marketing, there's acquisitions, and there is dispositions. Right, so one is getting leads of people interested in selling, one is actually making offers and getting those properties under contract, and the third is either assigning those properties or selling them, whatever you're doing to them, disposing of them. So when you first start, obviously you're going to do everything. The only thing that I would even recommend that you outsource in the beginning would be having somebody cold call for you, right? Unless you're gonna, well, it really depends. It depends on your marketing budget. So if you have a decent marketing budget, you can outsource most of the marketing to bring leads in and call you. But if you don't have a big budget, you can outsource cold calling. It's not that expensive, a few $100s a week, and somebody will call for you for a big chunk of time, and that will get you leads. So it's important that you spend some time even doing whatever you're going to wholesale, doing it so that you know whether it's being done right or not. So I tell everybody to cold call themselves first, and then if they just are not getting it done, then they can outsource it. So for example, there are things that I outsource because I wasn't getting them done right. I have to make I make my offers. I'm in charge of acquisitions. I do acquisitions by my company, but I wasn't making follow-up calls after I was making offers, so I outsourced that to somebody, to a leads manager who makes those calls. And you really have to notice what things are that you are going to do or that you're not going to do. And over time, you'll realize there are certain things you're just not going to do for whatever reason. You might want to outsource it, but you need to know how to do it so that you know if the person you're outsourcing to is doing it right or not. So I hate dispositions, and I have a full-time dispositions manager who handles that for me, and that makes my brain better and my whole life better. That I know he's going to deal with buyers, because I hate dealing with buyers. And I do want at some point to outsource acquisition management too. I don't want to do it, but for now I am doing it, and I will eventually outsource it. I mean, ideally, every business, you want everything outsourced. If you have a business that's really dependent on you, that's not really a business, right? You don't want to trade your time for dollars. So you want to outsource everything, but in the beginning, when you're starting, the only thing I would recommend, even thinking about outsourcing, would be making somebody else making cold calls for you, unless you're going to pay a done-for-you system to market, which is fine, but it's going to be a lot more expensive. Cold calling, if you outsource it, is not expensive, and you can do it yourself to sort of learn what should happen. Do it for a month, and then when somebody else cold calls, you can listen to the calls and you'll know if they're doing it right. So that is something that you can outsource in the beginning, even with on a lower end budget when you're starting. But anything else, I would say you won't do. Like someone asked me recently, should I outsource comping properties? So VAs can comp out properties, and I thought that was a terrible idea, because I don't know if you're not going to know if they're doing a good job or not. You need to do that, and that's a skill that you need to learn in this business for sure. I mean, obviously at some point you could have a leads manager or an acquisitions manager, or a combination thereof, do that, but you're going to have a feel for how much things should be going for in that area first. So again, the only thing in the beginning that I would even think about outsourcing is making calls, or possibly making text, but some of the marketing can be outsourced in the beginning, but you still need to do it yourself so you know if it's good or if it's bad. So if you're interested in finding out how I can help you, go to howtoflipnewyork.com. And if you like these videos, please click like. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe, share, comment. Comments get answered pretty quickly, and I'm here to help you in any way I can. My phone number is in the comments. If you want to call and talk, I'm happy to help in any way that I can.